Hello everyone and welcome to My Only Sunshine, a game currently in development by Yoshib. Links in the description below to their Twitter account. Yeah, it's let's just start the game. Let's check the extras. Okay, these are the people behind it. Empish, I've seen that name before. I don't know why, but I've seen it before. So this is an interesting game. This is an Atomic game. I don't know if I already said that, but I might have. Where you play as the sun. The very brightest object in the solar system. So it's here already, huh? Consulting my clock and calendar. I recount the days to be sure, but there's no doubt about it. Tomorrow is the day of my millennial celebration. Not sure why I'm so nervous for this one. At least I can be sure it won't be like the disaster of the 85th party, when I walked out a clueless mess to greet a throng of guests complete with bed hair and pajamas. And then again, it did give me the awesome idea for a pajama party for the 86th. Speaking of which, how many parties have I held now? I definitely lost count once I reached the triple digits. Nah, it doesn't matter. Who wants a reminder of how old they are anyway? I readjust the flower in my hair to make sure it's angled just right. Not a thing can be out of place. This party is special. It was more important than any of the previous ones. I keep putting my finger on the reason, but I just haven't felt like myself for a while. I don't even get out to visit the other planets anymore. I feel most comfortable cooped up and safe in my palace. Still, it's left me unsatisfied and frankly bored. It was only after Terra reminded me about the party that I brightened up again. Not too much, though. That could be dangerous. Everything has to be perfect. I give my reflection in the mirror a resolute nod. Enough of this ominous talk. It's time to get down to business. I gather my schedules, plans, and lists and head out to greet the day. However, I quickly stumble to a halt when I see my staff in disarray. The sunspots are bobbing and weaving about with no sense of order. The decor is crooked, the tables are bare, and is that smoke I see coming from the kitchen? I prefer to keep all the indoor fires to a minimum. Cradling my stacks of papers in one arm, I place 3 fingers between my lips and whistle sharply. The commotion immediately stops as if every spot is frozen in place. Line up. They zip over, lining up single file before me. What in the stars is going on? I hope we didn't lose those 33 rehearsals for nothing. So I hope we didn't have those 33 rehearsals for nothing. The room is instantly filled with chattering once more, as every little spot has their own opinion. Quite a strange feat considering the hive mind they possess. But that logic doesn't seem to stop them today. Alright. I call for order again and they all fall silent. I call my largest spot to explain that they readily do. Wait, hang on. I call my largest spot to explain, and they readily do so, hovering at attention and blinking brightly as if preparing the speech. Apparently, there had been some sort of a mix-up with some street steamers. Half the spots believe I wanted them above the entrance, and the other half were sure they were supposed to be decorating the gardens. Things went downhill from there. Okay, so where are the steamers now? The big spot twists around to the fellow workers, but they all seem as clueless as the next. Pinch the bridge of my nose. This is certainly not how I wanted the eve of my celebration to start. I forget the steamers. We've got to get this cleaned up before Terra gets here. He promised he would be here to go over the final. Terra's another name for the Earth, by the way. In case you didn't know that, you do now. It's one thing I could count on him to show up for. I wish I could remember the last time he showed up because he just wanted to see me. Bah! I shake my head to dispel the troublesome thoughts. No time for that right now. I separate the spots into equal groups. There's only 3, so I had to cut one in half. And they leap into work in a more organized fashion. I throw myself into the fray with them, carefully adjusting every flower arrangement and testing every recipe. Time passes quickly, and while the exhausted spots eventually collapse into the furniture to get a well-deserved break, I check my pocket watch. A frown mars my face as I notice how late it is on Earth. He didn't forget, did he? No, he's so busy nowadays, what with the humans and all. Probably got caught up with something important. Sometimes the other spirits take issue with how I use Earth's system to document time, but it really does make the most sense, at least in my opinion. I mean, what else are we going to use? A Venus? With how slow he moves, we'd be permanently stuck in limbo. I've been known to sleep through a couple of cycles every now and then, but I don't think there were any serious consequences. Pretty sure. I mean, I was pretty sure. I'm sure someone would have told me. This day sure felt particularly fast, though. Really wanted to go over the schedule one more time, too. Maybe we can find some extra time in the morning. I poke my to-do list with my pen, itching to make more additions. Isn't it a little late to still be working? Terra appears in front of me, and I jump to my feet to greet him. You're one to talk. It's... Check my watch again. Past midnight. You said you'd be coming mid-afternoon at the latest. I got caught up with something. He leans forward for a kiss, but then veers right when he sees the mini quiches I was sampling. Oh wait, no, that's quiche. Sorry, that's a cute. How do you say that? I stumble forward, missing the cue, while he devours the pastry. Bacon. Oh my god, I saw the most disgusting thing today. It was a candy bar. It was chocolate, but it had like bacon bits in it and like potato chip bits in it. It's just disgusting. Yeah. But anyway, that's my rant for the day. He goes for more and I grab his wrist to put a stop to it. Have you eaten anything else today? He chuckles nervously, grabbing another quiche with his free hand. You wanted me to help you with the menu, right? He skillfully avoids the question. Takes a tiny bite off the appetizer. Hang on one second. Let me check the settings. Ooh, I like that's cool. I like that. What is the sound bar here? Music volume. I think. Let's do like. There we go. A little bit of Mars, but not too much. Text speak. Oh, hang on. Text speak could definitely be faster. I don't want to save just yet. Hang on. Oh my god. It's all falling apart. I want, like, maybe a Jupiter. There we go. Okay. Seasoning is acceptable, though it could use a bit more pepper. Plus, it's a bit on the cold side. That's surprising coming from you. I'd give it 3.5 stars. I roll my eyes and touch a fingertip to the quiche, giving it a piping hot temperature that feels like it's straight from the oven. He smells and pops the whole thing into his mouth. 4.5 stars. I didn't call you here to only eat my leftovers. I pull the menu leaflet out of the largest stack of paperwork and hand it to him. I like the quiches, but I feel like they're a little generic. I want something that will wow everyone. He gives the list a once-over, collapsing onto the sofa I'd been previously sitting on. I mean, you've got a sushi bar on this thing. What more do you really need? Terra. Why doesn't he understand how important this is? This isn't just a party. I want to reach for the stars. Party 2020 has to be the greatest of all time. I must have been broadcasting my anxiety because Terra distracts me by reaching out and squeezing my hand in his. I'm just worried you're taking this too seriously. What do you mean? I scratch my cheek, feigning innocence. Well, at the end of the day, it's only a party. If something goes wrong, it's not like you won't have more chances. I pull my hand away and put a short distance between the two of us. Why do you have to be so negative about everything? I'm not trying to. You just have this tendency to throw all your energy into one thing. Like fusion. If anything goes wrong, I'm the one who has to... What? Pick up the pieces? Listen to my whining? Keep me from having a meltdown? That wasn't what I was going to say. Don't put words in my mouth. He started this argument and now he has the nerve to blame me for escalating it? I should have known this was how it would end up. All we've been doing is fighting recently. My relationship, my life, it all feels wrong. I'm sick of it. I take a deep breath and steady my nerves. Before I think of incineration, I remind myself to stay positive. I waded through every problem today with a little trouble. The party will be awesome. When it's turned back to Terra, I momentarily pause with concern. His mind and eyes are elsewhere. A worried frown scarring his lips. I clap and Terra almost jumps out of his seat. Sorry, let's not fight tonight, okay? Can I get you something to drink? Got any brandy? He sees my unamused expression and he laughs nervously. I'm kidding. I'm fine. Just come sit with me. I promised I'd help you with this. I grant his request. Sitting beside him, my leg just barely brushing up against his, I feel the relief rushes through him. How about instead of the regular cheese platter, we have a fondue station? Ooh, I like that. That's where you dip things in melted cheese, right? Yeah, I've got a recipe book I've been wanting to try. Or, you know, have the spots try. He rubs the back of his neck and corrects himself as one of the spots drifts behind him slowly. Terra might love eating, but he's no expert in the kitchen. I've heard there's an unofficial cooking ban in place. Could be dangerous, though. Remember the last time we had after-dinner coffee and somehow managed to burn his mouth and ruin his clothes in one go? If we're trying to proof the party, we might as well quit now and have the party in a padded room with bubble-wrapped furniture. I think, is one of the moons of Uranus? Maybe. We share... Okay, I can't find anything. It's really annoying. Don't tell me I actually think that's a possibility. What? It could be a fun theme one of these years. It's always tough to keep things fresh, so I jot down any and every possible idea, no matter how silly. When I look up at Terra again, I'm caught off guard by his expression. Is it that stupid? No, of course not. I just love the way your face lights up when you talk about your parties. I was enthralled. He stops short of finishing and reaches up to fix the flower in my hair. I should get you a new one. Or better yet, you could choose one yourself. You should see some of the new stuff that's bloomed on my planet. Oh, I guess, but I really do like this one. I put my hand over top of it, guarding it protectively. He chuckles, holding up his hands to insist he means no harm. I'm not asking you to get rid of it, but it wouldn't hurt to have a bigger selection of hair ornaments to choose from. I mean, the color does clash with your hair. What's the matter? It reminds me of you. Aww. I lean my head on his shoulder and he flinches at the sudden gesture. I back off at his reaction. Terra, are you alright? He smiles, but it doesn't quite reach his eyes like before. He ends up brushing his hair back and pointing toward the notepad I have in my hand. So we should probably figure out the dippers if we're gonna have a fondue idea. I like the Big Dipper, but, you know, some people are fond of the Little Dipper. You could go with something like bread or chips, but I suggest apples. It sounds weird, but trust me, it pairs perfectly. He rambles on, hoping I won't notice this obvious diversion tactic. Whatever's going on, he doesn't want to talk about it. He tends to disappear if I push him too hard. So I play along with him. What kind of apples? He lets out a short sigh at the reprieve. Well, that depends on the cheese, I suppose. Sweet apples tend to work the best with the tangy cheeses, which is mostly what's used in fondue. So then Honeycrisp? Those are your favorite anyway. I write it down so I won't forget. Oh, you don't need to worry about those. I'll bring them. I mean, it's only right to give a gift to the host. And if you won't accept flowers... I swat him playfully on the arm. Oh, stop. You know I love flowers. You know I love the flowers I bring from Earth. I just don't want a replacement for this one in particular. I presume this love the flowers you bring from Earth, but maybe it means I. But the apples sound lovely. Any other suggestions? I value your expert opinion. Yeah. No one else has apples anywhere in the planet in the solar system. He chuckles as he leans back on the opposite arm of the couch. I'm at your service, milady. His worries seem to have dissolved for now, thankfully. We spend the next few hours discussing last-minute appetizers and cocktails. It isn't long before we get off track, our most notable debate being what would happen if dinosaurs made sun resurgence. I insist that they would trample the humans, but Terra has faith in humans pulling out a victory. You know they make movies about that now. Really? I'd love to watch that. Maybe next time you come over. Terra's focus moves something over my shoulder, and he suddenly jumps up from the couch in alarm. It's later than I thought. I gotta get back home. I'm not sure if he's avoiding me or if he's actually concerned about his planet, but it doesn't make me feel nice either way. Do you have to? I was kind of hoping we could spend the night together. I'm sort of anxious about the party, and I'd rather you were... Oh. He gently rests his hands on my shoulders. Everything will be perfect. You don't need me for that. Terra, I'm sorry. Things are hectic on Earth. I have things I need to do before tomorrow. But you'll have the whole day with the entire solar system. He hesitates before continuing. And me too, if you still want. Try to relax, okay? He leans forward and I close my eyes expecting a kiss on the lips. At the last moment, he pivots to deliver a kiss on the cheek. Oh no. By the time I open my eyes again, he's already booking it for the exit. I want to stop him and demand to know the reason for his sudden cold streak. but I can't come up with anything poignant. Party starts at noon. Yep, I remember. Get some rest. He doesn't turn back before disappearing down the hall to the exit. I swallow the growing lump in my throat. Clenching my fists, I feel my skin starting to heat with a burst of emotion. I managed to taper it down again at the last moment. He's right. I'll have the whole solar system to mingle with tomorrow. Hopefully, I won't even have time to think about the troublesome distance between us. I shake my head, shuffling my notes into a pile and going to bed alone. The party starts without a hitch. I've already had several compliments ranging from the food to the flowers. I admit I was a little worried this morning, but I'm glad I decided to wake up early. I discovered some daffodils wilted overnight and needed to be replaced. It's sad, they have such a short life no matter how devoted I am to caring for them. Sometimes it's my own fault for not keeping the temperature just right for them to thrive, like after Terra's sudden exit yesterday, for instance. I can easily lose my concentration when I'm stressed, and I've certainly been plenty stressed recently. Everyone arrived on time, or fashionably late, as Venus liked to call him. Well, Terra's missing, but he implied yesterday that he would be late. His strange behavior is still on my mind, but I refuse to let it ruin my celebration. At the very least, the fondue station he came up with is a superb success. Things should be running smoothly now, so I think I have a chance to step in and enjoy the party and its guests. Who should I greet? Oh my god, there's so many. Oh, is Uranus. I'm an idiot. That's just the name for it. I don't know why they opted not to do that. How about, Jupiter. And I clicked Pluto like I'm more. I spot him in the corner, leaned up against the palm tree. He looks almost as skinny as one, too, even with his heavy coat on. Speaking of, were you planning to skip out early? What? Oh, son, no, that wasn't. Why do you ask? Well, you still have your coat on, so it seemed like you were not comfortable and might want to leave. Oh, sorry. I sometimes forget I'm wearing it. What can I do for you? I just want to come talk to you and see how you're doing. You're so far away. You never visit. Oh, I'm fine so far. So far? Were you expecting not to be? Well, I don't do so well at parties. Not everyone can be as popular as you, unfortunately. I'd wonder what your secret is, but it's probably being pretty and bright in the sun spirit, so can't exactly copy that. Thank you, but I'm sure you have your appeal as well. I do. I hope he doesn't ask me what this appeal is, because I don't know. I don't feel like I know him well enough to say, even after all this time. Maybe I should fix that. There's a fun fact here for you guys. Since when Pluto was first discovered, since it was declassified to a dwarf planet, and it's not technically a planet anymore, in the years that it was a planet, it never once made a full rotation around the sun. Isn't that sad? That's sad. It's sad. So what have you been up to since the last time I saw you? Not much, mostly just chilling with Sharon. Sharon is one of the moons of Pluto, by the way. And also named after a dog. I haven't seen a dog in quite a while. She's well enough behaved that she probably could have attended if you wanted to bring her. I don't know, Sharon... Is Sharon named after a dog? I don't think it's a dog per se. One of the moons is named after Cerberus, the dog of Hades. A lot of stuff is named after Greek stuff. I would like her company, but it would be weird if I was the one who brought a moon, right? But it's okay. I gotta talk to you instead. I feel the heat rising to my cheeks, and it's not anger this time. I'm quite sure that Pluto, awkward mess that he is, has no experience flirting or being charming, which means that his statements are actually genuine. It feels nice to talk to someone without artifice, and even nicer to find that he actually likes me. I find myself soothed. I'd love to stay and chat more, but unfortunately as host I have to make the rounds too. Okay, don't mind me. I'll see if I can find you again later though. I've already turned to go, but I can hear him mumble something eventually. Wait, really? Oh. Okay. Let us greet Mercury, the closest planet to the sun. But not the hottest, surprisingly. Venus is actually the hottest, I'm pretty sure. Just as because it has a much thicker atmosphere. Mercury actually doesn't have much atmosphere. The sun sucks it all up. Just as I'm thinking of going seeing Mercury, I'm spotting him from my peripheral vision. Talk about a coincidence. With a smile, I approach him. Mercury hushes me, frantically looking around as if he's just seen a ghost. Wait, what's wrong? Before I could say anything more, Mercury pulls me into a hiding space behind the curtain and presses his cool hand on top of my lips, preventing me from speaking any further. Just be quiet. Got that? Mm-hmm. I nod, and with a look of relief, Mercury removes his hand from my face. The sensation still lingers on me, though, and just soaking it in is enough to make me go silent. Where is he? All of a sudden, I hear Saturn's voice, and Mercury notably stiffens next to me, so I whisper to him, "Are we hiding from Saturn?" He nods, staying completely silent. Right. Saturn's voice gets further away, and Mercury pulls back the curtain. Mercury sighs in relief and stands up, holding his hand out for me as well. Oh, thank you. Nothing big. Anyway, if you're into Saturn, don't tell her you saw me. I really don't want to deal with her right now. You sure? Okay, thanks. See ya. Looking around his surroundings nervously, Mercury retreats back to the heart of the party, perhaps wishing to mix in so he wouldn't be found. I guess he's never been much for long chats. Oh well, I guess that happened. Not sure what's going on with those two. Let's see Venus. Venus spots me as I approach him. Ah, there she is, the woman of every hour. Oh, enough of that, Venus. This might be my party, but it's about everyone enjoying themselves, not just me. Well, I'd say you've accomplished that. Even by my standards, this is a magnificent party. I'm so glad to hear it. Conversations between Venus and I have always felt fake and forced, despite my best efforts. We have a unique past, and it's not a good one. In the back of my mind, I know I remember the pleasant times between us, but the only memory that lingers is our disastrous breakup. If it hadn't been for Terra, I would have probably collapsed in on myself. Still, it's my duty to make sure all my planets and party guests are happy. How have you been lately? Haven't seen you much. Are you telling me that you missed me? No. Most certainly not. I'd honestly be more enjoy the company of almost anyone else, but it's important for me to attend to all my guests. Ah, a refreshing course of honesty from you, son. Quite rare indeed. As if every word he says is in a cleverly disguised bit of sarcasm. I live to entertain you, Venus. Oh, how you bless me, son. I flinch at the subtle dig at our past. Venus remains the only other planet to ever receive my blessing, and he never seemed all that thrilled about the perks of it. But you must be desperate to spend so much time talking to me. I can't help but notice you're missing a particular bit of irritating arm candy. And there was never any hiding behind banter with Terra and Venus. Terra hated Venus, and Venus loved to rile up Terra whenever he saw him. However, Terra always has the trump card, which never fails to irk Venus. Terra's steadfast handling of my blessing after Venus's failure. Although more recently, I'm unfortunately starting to notice the same cracks in Terra that once appeared in Venus. He said he would be late. Do you know how busy he is? All too well. Venus smiles falters for the first time. It's like a dagger to the chest. He always makes my blessing sound like such a curse. Like I suppose I've had my fun teasing you for one day? A little advice. Know that it was never you I tired of, and I'm sure your dear Terra feels the same. Just keep that detail in mind for the future. Takes my hand and kisses the top of it. It's no gesture of reverence or meaningless flirtation, but one of sincere affection. He lets me go and slips back into his familiar smug expression. Now, why don't you run along and tend to the rest of your guests? I believe I will see if Mars is in need of some company. I groan. It's never good when Venus gets into Mars' ear. Many of my parties have been crashed by those two, although at least it's unintentional on Mars' end. But it would be nice for Mars to have someone else beside me to talk to, and those parties were the most memorable ones. Okay. Let's go see Mars. I make my way over to Mars, maintaining her distance to everyone else and looking as approachable as ever. Mars as the red planet. It's red because it has a lot of iron in the soil. Gives it its red tint. It's also the closest planet to Earth and the one that we most likely visit in our lifetimes. I wish she wouldn't do that. She'd be better off if she didn't just keep to herself, but I can't exactly force her to make friends. Sun! Although I would probably have better luck trying anyone else here would. Her entire demeanor changes as soon as she sees me. It's so good to see you. How are you? Oh, I'm doing well. How about you, Mars? Enjoying the party? If that's possible to do, standing at the edge of the room. It's amazing, of course. All your parties are. The fondue was a great idea. Aw, thank you. I'm glad you think so. The fondue was Terra's idea, actually. I can't describe the expression that flashes over her face. Her following question has a deceptively casual tone. Was it? How are you and Terra doing anyway? I noticed he hasn't shown up to the party yet. She tries to hide it, but I can know Mars is very, very interested in the answer to that question. It's not like I don't get why, or that I didn't know. I remember the waves it caused when I first announced that Terra and I were dating. Most of the others seemed happy for me, but I heard undercuts of jealousy and running through the room all the same. I suppose from the outside, Terra was a strange pick. The planets didn't find him exceptionally talented in any way. I mean, his most noticeable trait would be the exceptional rock collection he had. But Terra pursued me, and he comforted me after my breakup with Venus. Well, that's one of the reasons I fell for him. The others gossiped about how Terra took advantage of me in that vulnerable time. Still, most of them tried to hide it. Even Venus, my ex, who would have had every reason to be jealous. Mars was the exception. She never offered us her congratulations, and while she was just as nice to me as she'd ever been, she was always pointedly colder toward Terra. I know that she wants what he has. Me. What I don't know is how to feel about that. It makes her question a very loaded one. We're doing great. He was so helpful in pulling together all of the last-minute preparations last night. I remember his abrupt departure last night, and my smile wobbles, but I managed to keep my expression bright. I have to be bright for everyone. With some effort, I remind myself of the good that came out of last night. He has such a talent for planning the food, not just the fondue. He was the one who first introduced me to quiches, and he taste tested them for me. I leave out Terra's distinct lack of cooking ability. A genuine smile comes to my lips as I remember what else we talked about, my fingers reaching up to toy with the flower decorating my hair. He's been telling me all about the flowers I've been pouring on Earth, too. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning. He's been telling me all about the flowers that have been blooming on Earth, too, and he's offered to bring me one. I like this one, but I am interested to see what else there is. It's been a while since I visited his planet. Oh. I'm leaving plenty out, of course, but Mars' disappointed tone tells me that I've convinced her of my truthfulness. To my surprise, I may have even convinced myself that we're doing great. Terra and I aren't without our problems recently, but I can't help remembering all the things he's done for and with me, last night and beyond. Well, I'm glad you're happy. Things are just getting a little too personal, I think. Before I can air any more of my dirty laundry, I switch my focus over to Mars and her moons. So how are Phobos and Deimos doing? They're great. You should stop by sometime soon. I know they'd love to see you. We make small talk for a bit longer, then I excuse myself to check on the rest of the party. If you ever need to talk, don't hesitate to call on me, okay? She's so open and friendly once you get to know her. I wish others could have the same friendship with her that I have. Alright, let's go see Jupiter. It's never too difficult to spot Jupiter, being as big as he is. His large stature has more in common with the palm trees littered about than his fellow spirits. He leans against the wall, making himself a tad shorter than usual, and giving himself a clear vantage spot to watch over the whole party. Although currently he seems most interested in the music being played by the sunspots. As if sensing my presence before I reach him, he turns and offers me a gentle smile. I was wondering if I had a chance to speak with you today. Oh, don't be silly. It wouldn't be proper for a host to not engage with her guests. His eyes betraying emotion I can't place before it vanishes like a mirage. You always spoil us with these parties. I can only imagine the work you put into organizing them. Oh, it's not like I don't have the time. Besides, it's fun for me, although seeing you and everyone else enjoying themselves is my favorite part. He tilts his head, and I can't help but feel like he's studying me closely. He reaches out, long fingers just barely grazing my cheek and catching me off guard for a moment. Your skin doesn't have quite this normal warmth. Then he pulls back his hand when he notices my surprised reaction. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself as well, son. I bristle at the mention of my health. Oh, you don't have to worry. I won't collapse over something that's insignificant. Oh, no, I didn't mean to imply. He shifts with embarrassment, leaning back on his heels. I meant for your sake, son, not ours. You deserve to be happy, too. My annoyance fades at the way he shrieks with apprehension over a few misunderstood words. The vulnerable side he shows me every so often is charming compared to his usual confidence. I changed the subject to save him. Are you enjoying the music? His easy smile returns as he moves his attention to the ensemble. Oh, of course. I'm glad you decided to stay on the classical side. Some of the newer styles Earth has been coming up with, frankly, hurt my ears. Is it that terrible? I chuckle at his annoyance. It was honestly tough to keep up with the Earthlings. Their moods change quicker than Mercury's. He brushes his hair back, tugging lightly on his bangs. They took the longest time to reach an acceptable pinnacle, but now it's as if they want to regress back to banging wooden sticks together. He sighs, leaning back on his heels. Oh, I shouldn't be so judgmental. I'm sure I've had my eccentric phases. That's true. I remember a time period when Jupiter's music sounded like someone shaking glass in a pot. He claimed something about it representing our solar system, trapped in a void and forever, swept up in an uncertain wave of the universe. Are you laughing at me? No. It's simply insane to think you've ever been any less than a maestro in the musical arts. He pokes me in the side, only causing me to laugh harder. Terra actually gave Spots the sheet music. He even tried to give them some instructions, but the Sunspox took to it like a fish to water. Thankfully, the less advice he gave the Spots about music, the better. I noticed a slight twitch in Jupiter's brow when I mentioned Terra. That's a little surprising. Last I heard, they were still getting along better than any of the spirits. They've been friends since before Terra and I were even together. It was thoughtful of Terra. He always seems so busy nowadays. I'm surprised he found time to help you. Before I can read too deeply into the hidden meaning behind his words, he continues. That must be why he came to me not too long ago asking for my opinion. Oh, then I guess I have to thank you as well. I hadn't seen him for a while, so it was good to catch up with him. He has more responsibilities than all the other spirits combined. He's so sincere that I almost think I imagined the hidden venom in his earlier words. Although I still think you have at the hardest holding the system together. You know, it's nothing so difficult. Honestly, it would likely be best for everyone if I spent the majority of my time sleeping. There'd be no worries about losing my composure and burning everyone to a crisp then. I surprised myself with how dark my words ended up. I didn't mean to sound like such a burden. Son. Ooh, Furlise. He affectionately pats my head, causing me to lift my gaze again. Hang on, let's turn this up. This is good. You shouldn't say such things. You shouldn't say such things. Some of us would find life hopelessly empty without your friendship. I want to ask him if there's a particular person he has in mind when he says that, but he withdraws his touch again, like he catches himself in a habit. I'm glad to hear it. Feels like forever ago since he was truly open with his feelings. You know, there's always something more I sense he wants to do or say, but he reconsiders at the last moment. I can't help but notice the way his eyes linger on the flower in my hair as well. You should probably get back to the party. I'm sure the other spirits will be happy with me taking up all of your attention. Any hints of underlying strife troubling him disappear with his carefree crafted smile. I was planning on checking in on Terra anyway, so I'll find him for you and see what's keeping him. That would be a weight off my mind, thank you. His smile grows wider in response before he heads towards the nearest entranceway. Now, who should I speak to next? Let's go see Neptune. Along with my chosen 9, I also invite the spirits of the lesser celestial bodies around me. Helps make the party more lively, and I don't mind letting them enjoy themselves. Back ago, in my early days, when I would sometimes seek out the other stars for advice, I met some who had as many as 20 planets they officially recognized. Someday it might be nice to have more than just us 10 in the inner circle, so to speak, but honestly, as solitary as many of my days are, I don't think I can handle the management of more. I nod politely at Ceres as I pass her by, but she seems too occupied with the fondue to pay me much heed. Can't really blame her. She always looks like she needs to put on some weight, so I leave her be. A few of the others, whose names escape me at the moment, notice me approaching and go quiet. I hate that. You know, I never know whether they're treating me with unnecessary reverence or downright fear. Part of what keeps me from being friendly with them, to be honest. I feel like it would be impolite to carry on lengthy conversations with a person who every other gesture makes me cause to cringe. More or less, the center of my unofficial guest sits Neptune, gracefully accepting a drink from her. I find myself feeling jealous of her easy demeanor, almost as if she's holding court at my party. She meets my eyes and rises smoothly to her feet. It's almost eerie seeing how perfectly in control she is from someone who's seen her tantrums. Son, how pleasant to see you. I would have sought you out earlier, but Eris had a few things he wanted to discuss first. A thin and gangly man smiles nervously at me. I vaguely recognize him from my last party, but that's about it. Nice to meet you too, Eris. Face darkens slightly, although I can't put my finger on exactly how. Before I can blink, though, she's already gone. Eris, I believe, is another planet in the solar system, or it's like a little bit larger than Pluto. It's not. I don't think it's officially recognized as a planet, but it's in like the contention of maybe being one day. I'm pretty sure. I was quite sure I'd introduced you to before. Oh, it's alright. I'm not around very often. Well, okay. Anyway, son, did you need something? No, it sounds like I'm the one begging for an audience. Not especially, but I just want to talk to you. Is that okay? Me? I don't think we've talked for the past couple 100 years. Why the sudden interest? Well, maybe I realize how long it's been and wanted to fix that. I admire that out to you, but I'm not sure what we have to discuss. The two of us lead mostly separate lives. Then perhaps the first thing we should do is catch up on the other's news. As you wish. Things have been a little stressful for me lately, and it's making storms brew more than usual in my atmosphere. I've got a big performance coming up for several guests from the Kuiper belt, this asteroid belt. That lies between, I want to say, Jupiter and Mars. Pretty sure that's how it goes. And I want to make sure it's perfect. Despite her unease, Neptune's voice is firm and determined. I recognize it in the same focus I've been having for this party. With your sense of rhythm and dedication to practice, I don't doubt that it will be exquisitely memorable. I want to see it. It's something I'd like to see for myself. Really? Well, you're certainly welcome to attend. I might have to take you up on that. Attending a performance of Neptune's, besides being downright enchanting, sounds like a perfect way to distract myself from the worries. At the very least, it'll be something to do and a chance to socialize, even if it's with the awkward dwarf planets. Can you send me a schedule for it? I wouldn't want to get the time wrong and miss it. Of course. Now it's your turn. How have things been, son? Well, I hesitate aware of many eyes on us. Though it might be nice to vent to Neptune about some of my issues with Terra, I don't really want to air our dirty laundry in front of people I hardly know. I've been a bit consumed with trying to make this party successful. Afterwards, things always calm down, so I'm looking forward to getting a bit of a break. Neptune pats my arm sympathetically. Organizing an event always causes a lot of tension. You've done well, though, creating a festive and welcoming environment for everyone. Well, thank you. I appreciate your kind words. It always catches me off guard how smooth her tongue is when she's composed. You'd think she was an actress rather than a dancer. Even if they might not be fully genuine, her words of praise encourage me. We chat politely for a few moments before Neptune's face contorts to an ugly snarl. Is something wrong? Don't worry about it. I just saw something rather distasteful. I've enjoyed speaking with you, but unfortunately I have a few things I need to take care of. What, even at a party? As I said before, I'm always busy. I'll see you later, son. Left alone, I've become more aware of several ice dwarfs watching me. I give them a nervous smile and extract myself as quickly as possible. Let's go see I find hovering about the fondue pot. He's not eating, though. It's more like he's just studying it, blocking anyone else from having any. The heating isn't even. That's gotta be why. Is something wrong? What? Oh, son, sorry. I was just holding up the line, crazy tinker. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get out of the way. He suits his words and practically runs away. Several steps later, I managed to catch up with him enough to grab his sleeve. Did you not want to talk to me? No, He sighs and takes a deep breath. I didn't want to bother anyone else around the food. Probably more like he wanted to get away from Venus. Her always feels uncomfortable around him. But he looks awkward enough without me pointing that out, so I changed the subject. Anyway, what were you interested in the fondue for, if not eating? I had some earlier, and it seemed like there were a couple hardened lumps in the cheese. The heat source from underneath is not sufficient to keep everything melted. Oh, I hope it wasn't too bad. That heater came with the setup, so I thought it would be fine. No, the source might itself be strong enough, but it's only coming from one direction. So the temperature is not consistent throughout. If the cheese had been stirred frequently enough, that would solve the problem, but even leaving it to sit for a few minutes would start to produce hardening. You could probably get one of the spots to be an attendant and keep it more evenly heated, but I don't understand how the Earthlings would be satisfied with that sort of design. I can't help myself. I laugh. On one hand, I do want everything to be perfect, but I'm not sure I've ever gone to that level of detail about one aspect before. Well, it has a charming look to it, which probably makes up for it. I will have a spot go monitor it, though, because that's a good suggestion. Is it? Oh, okay. How would you solve it? I'm curious, though. How would you approach the problem to avoid the issue coming up? You actually want to know? Well, sure, it seems like you've given it some thought, and knowing you, you've come up with something I never would in a million years. Are my ideas really that weird? No, I'm saying that they're that good. Oh, thank you. So an ideal heating situation would be something along the lines of an insulated oven to keep heat from escaping, but with the necessity to keep the pot open at the top for dipping, that's really not possible. He proceeds to talk my ear off for the next half hour, and I have to admit, I don't understand most of it, but it's nice to see her so animated. Now then, who else should I talk to? Well, we only got one left, Saturn. Saturn has many rings and many moons. I think it has the most moons of any planet. As I maneuver around the throng of people, there's a particular figure that stands out to me. Saturn is also home to Titan, a moon with liquid water. It is actually the closest in Earth to any other body in our solar system. True story. Saturn turns around and her smile brightens as she waves. Oh, hi there, son. Thanks for hosting such a nice party. Oh, this is no big deal. Make sure to enjoy yourself while you're here. Her expression changes and it looks like her mind is elsewhere. Is something bothering you? I decided it's pretty straightforward. If it's Saturn, she probably wouldn't mind all too much. Judging from the times I've talked with Saturn in past parties, it seems like Saturn isn't a very uptight person. Is everything okay? Is there something that bothered you? No, I was just looking for someone, but he's probably already snuck off somewhere. She must be talking about Mercury. He told me to keep it a secret, so I better not say anything. I'm not sure who you're looking for, but I hope you find him soon. Thanks. Considering who it is, I don't need that good luck. Get out of here. Mercury darts in and out when he sees Saturn, and I struggle to keep a straight face. Son? Sorry, feel free to help yourself to anything here. You should enjoy a party while it lasts, you know. Golden words of wisdom, I'll take them to heart. You better. We both share a pleasant laugh. Saturn really is an easy one to talk to. It feels like I could talk to her all day, not really be bored. I'll see you later, Saturn, but we're not talking to her that much today. I'm finished greeting everyone. I think I'll enjoy the party for now. There'll be plenty of time to talk to people later. I don't know how long the party goes on, but I can tell when it's coming to an end. I hate when I have to dismiss them because I know a good chunk of them will most definitely flee the moment I give them permission. And I can't count how many times I've searched this place for Terra either. He promised he'd be here, and at this point it's beyond unacceptable. It's times like these where I wonder if he truly wants to be with... No, I refuse to think of such things. Whatever's wrong, I'm sure we'll be able to sort it out. We always have in the past. But I did so want him to be at this party. Something is strangely missing. I can't help but think how, despite my best efforts, the whole celebration was remarkably average. I mean, nothing really made it stand out from any of my previous gatherings. Why is it that no matter what I do, it all continues to feel so pointless? I shake my head to dispel the thoughts that continue to spread like a wildfire. I'm starting to get some troubled looks, so maybe I'm projecting my emotions too openly. Yes, I should definitely end this now. I walk up onto the small stage where the spots are performing and ask for silence. Could I have everyone's attention, please? It doesn't take long for the room to quiet, as if they're waiting for this. Clear my throat. I'd like to thank you all for coming today. I know for many of you this isn't your most favorite way to spend your time, but it truly means so much to me that you show up in spite of that. Even if I haven't done the best at showing it recently, I do care deeply for all of you. I'd like nothing more than to do this. My voice cracks briefly despite my best efforts. To be together forever. What's wrong with me? I mean, it's what I want, isn't it? Everything to stay the same? I mean, there's safety there. where I don't risk hurting any of the spirits and planets I hold dear. That's it? Like a burst of lightning, Terra's voice strikes me to my core. I find my partner stumbling towards the stage, making his long-awaited entrance with a nearly empty bottle of brown liquor in his grasp. After all that talk, after all the extra work you made me do, this is the best you could come up with? Is this a joke? His words are clearly slurred, sounding like he hadn't stopped drinking since the moment he left with me the night before. Terra, what? Don't want me. You insist as I help you plan this little shindig, force more responsibilities on top of many endless others. You have no idea how tough it is keeping you happy. With your constant moping and whining about your stupid, petty problems. Terra, what are you doing? Jupiter grabs his arm, trying to stop him from using physical force, but Terra angrily shoves him away. Get off! I told you I didn't want to come. You don't get to dictate how I behave now, Juno. I want to stop him, but this feels inevitable. Like a festering wound that I can no longer cover up. He continues. None of you have any idea what it's like. It's up to me to take care of her because you're terrified that you'll be swallowed up if she loses it. No one worries about my health or how I'm suffering. You're all a bunch of selfish rocks floating in space, waiting for doomsday, playing your stupid games. Wow, he's finally lost it. Well done. I was wondering how long it would take you to figure it out, although you've always been remarkably dense. You shut up, you smug bastards. My turn to talk. Terra, enough. I finally regain my voice, and the whole crowd flinches in response. Except for Terra, who matches my glare with an equally furious one. You're acting like a child. I never forced you to do anything. I'm sorry you feel like I've wronged you. Don't serenade me with your fake pity. You don't get to act so innocent now. The truth needs to come out. He backs up with his arms raised in the air, trying to soak up what he believes is his well-deserved praise. Everything you see here is because of me. You're profiting off my hard work, and it's time you recognize it. My eyes widen as I watch him move straight for the banquet table. Stop, you're going to... What's the matter, son? You don't like it when other people get attention? Terra loses his balance completely, crashes into the blockade behind him. The table is upturned, throwing a vast array of leftover food and dishes onto the floor and leaving the horrific mess in its wake. Once the last plate shatters, everyone grows silent as if waiting for the incoming explosion. And at this moment, I don't plan to disappoint them. The air around me goes thick and heavy. The temperature increases rapidly as I clench my fists in unspeakable anger. Inside the dark vortex of my mind, a little voice inside my head screams for me to stop. In the haze, I can make out only one spirit who I desperately don't want to hurt, and it's enough to call me back from the edge. And I picture them standing in front of me, to center and stop myself from doing the unthinkable. As quickly as the threat appears, the hot air is sucked up and out of the palace again. I let out a deep cleansing breath and open my eyes again, hating to see what damage I've unintentionally caused. But thankfully, outside some worried expressions and wilted plants, everyone seems alright. I start to cry for the spirit who I remember during my darkest moment. Oh, what's the spirit? Saturn. Really like Saturn. Now then, before you go, I have one big announcement to make. Terra and I are finished. I managed to pull off my best smile as the words sink in, although it seems as if Terra is no longer awake to hear them. Thank you again for coming. I'd like to ask if one person would stay behind, if it's not too much trouble. While looking around, a certain figure catches my peripheral vision. At first I think it's Saturn, because that's what I want to look for, but I quickly realize as I approach the figure that it isn't. Mercury? Knowing Mercury, this would be the perfect spot for him to hang out. A quiet spot in a nook or cranny. It wasn't a bad thing, but parties were supposed to be social events. Seeing as he's still hanging out here, I wonder if he even witnessed what the whole mess earlier. It seemed like he'd be the first person that would go home. Mercury? Mercury turns around, his face paling as if he's just seen some evil spirit. When he seems to realize it's just me, he lets out a little sigh of relief. Oh, it's just you. Just me? I raise a brow. I'm not really sure how I should feel about that one. Are you okay, Mercury? No, not really. I'm being chased. Gritting his teeth, Mercury meets my eyes. Could you help me? Help you with what? Mercury throws his hands in the air. Oh my god, just help me for now. I'll explain later, but now's not the time. Okay, okay. What's got his feathers so ruffled up? I don't think I've ever seen Mercury like this before. Then again, I never really talked to Mercury much before. He's kind of a tough person to converse with. But what? Would you mind coming to my room? Mercury seems to consider it for a second before letting out a little nod and muttering, Fine, I guess that works. Will everything be alright? A major part of me feels like the decision I just made was on the whim, because it was. I was going to choose Saturn, but something told me she was busy with something else, so I called Mercury. I sigh as I wait, my shoulders stiff and terse. Only when the door opens I realize that I was holding my breath, slowly and suddenly let it all, giving myself a pep talk. There's nothing I can do now except go with the flow. So, did you want something? I was hoping I could talk to you, actually. What? Why do you look so surprised? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just looking for a place to hide. I'm not really in the mood right now. Suddenly a knock on the door interrupts our conversation. Come in? I feel somewhat relieved. Who knows what Mercury could have said with that kind of expression? Damn it. Oh, there you are, little Mer. You just suddenly disappeared on me. You had me worried sick. First of all, don't call me little Mer. And second of all, thanks, but no thanks. I don't need your worries, Saturn. Huh, I knew you'd say that. Now off you go. Wait, really? Saturn made a sudden lazy wave of her hand, telling Mercury to leave. He breathes a sigh of relief. Okay, see you, son. Was someone who rather harshly said he didn't need your worry, and he seemed quite obedient with you. She shrugs, her lips quirking into a smile. He says harsh things, but does nice things as well. Either in an awkward way or a painfully subtle way. Oh, I see. Saturn has always possessed more of a lackadaisical demeanor. It's not a bad thing. Her character makes her easy to talk to because I feel like she just sort of goes with the flow. Or is it that she has this ability that eases everyone who talks to her to go along with her pace? Maybe that's why she's so popular. Something like a natural charm of hers. So Jupiter said you're looking for me? Oh yes, I'd like to talk to you, just to get some things out of my solar system. Is that so? Then fire away. Well, as you know, I recently broke up with Terra for... Well, you all saw it. Crashing into your banquet table and ruining your party. It was quite the scene. I was worried about how you were doing after that. Even though Saturn appears nonchalant, I can tell from little signs that she's listening more closely. A warmth spreads through my heart. I really appreciate it. Go on, that's not all, right? And I don't know anymore. Okay, well, that was drama if I've ever seen it. I really don't think it's a good time to be saying that kind of thing, Saturn. Saturn shrugs. Not every relationship will work out, son. You should know that by now, I assume. A relationship's gotta click, be it platonic or romantic. If you don't go well together, it's better if you break up, or who knows what will happen. At worst, it's probably going to become real toxic. As if slapping me to my senses, I flinch when I hear the word toxic. Saturn looks quite serious, so I wonder if she maybe had some personal experience before that made her say that. Anywho, I don't think my relationship with Terra was that bad, right? But, yeah, she may be right. We have been steadily growing more distant over time, especially more recently. But up until that moment, I thought we were fine. You seem to know quite a bit about these things, Saturn. Do I? Who knows? Laughing it off, she returns to a relaxed, smiling expression, almost as if her serious face just a few seconds before had never existed. I know better than to dismiss that as my imagination. Really, I almost feel kind of envious. What Saturn has said may not have been completely accurate, but at the same time, I find that she has an easy time relating with other people, even though she doesn't really know well. The only reason why Saturn wasn't spot on, probably because I didn't really let her in on the full picture. I can't conceal a wry smile. What's wrong? I was just thinking. Saturn raises a brow, but she doesn't question me further. Well, thinking is good, but it is rather uncomfortable if you do it smack in the middle of a conversation. It makes me think I said something wrong. I'll take that to heart. Saturn smiles before tussling my hair. Her touch feels more cool, causing a little blush to paint my cheeks. The gesture was nice. Cheer up, son. It's better if you let the love go. I'm sure you'll find someone new who's good for you. Right. Love should be treasured while you have it. But if you get too attached, you'll be the one who gets hurt. Right. Well, I better go now. I gotta check up on a certain grump. Okay, thanks, Saturn. With a brief wave, Saturn closes the door gently behind her. Saturn really is kind. She's honest, but she's smooth as well. Her words sound harsh, but they're honest. She's giving me some good advice on how to deal with this. Though in this case, it still weighs on my heart. Punching my hand over my chest, I close my eyes. Hopefully, time can heal these hidden wounds. Luckily, I've got all the time in the universe to do that. All the time in the world. Don't serenade me with your fake pity. You don't get to act innocent now. Terra's words still sting. You know, even after talking with Saturn about it, it's hard to remove him from my mind. We may have broken up, but we were in love. A love that lasted through generations and went through some very tough times together. Where did I go wrong? I sigh as I place the back of my head on my forehead, closing my eyes and shutting out my other surroundings. Usually I don't like being completely alone, but right now it's just one of those times I just wanted to hole up and cry. Oh, what is it? With a bright smile on their face, the spot gives me a mug filled with a warm liquid. It's cocoa. Just a gesture's enough to make me smile. Right now I should just forget about everything and enjoy something nice and warm. Worrying can come later. Thank you, really. I gently pat the sunspot on their head, and they jump in the air before scurrying off. After blowing, I bring the cup to my lips and let the tea warm my heart. It's slightly sweet, with a kind of fruity flavor as well. Wow, this is actually pretty good. Not to mention, it's also quite refreshing. I feel like I'm somewhere tropical. I don't remember having any such tea, though. I wonder where it could have come from. I look down at the orangish liquid, noticing how my reflection distorts slightly with each disturbance. Some part of me feels shaken by the party's events, but with this tea I feel like I can relax more. Suddenly I hear a small noise. For a second I think it must be my imagination, until I look down and let out a little gasp. A bird! It's so cute! Quite colorful with big glassy and dark eyes. Even its beak seems decorated. I reach out to it, and I lift it up, and I let the bird let out a little chirp. Can't help but laugh as I carry it as I would an infant. Did it get lost, I wonder? There's only two places the bird could have come from, and only birds that could travel to my palace without help are Saturn's moons. I smile. Saturn may look like a princess on her own, but when she's doing something like talking with birds, she looks like a beauty from a fairy tale. I'm not sure why it's come all this way, though. I can't speak the language. Maybe I should get in touch with Saturn. It would be a good opportunity to pay her back as well for listening to my concerns. Before I can do much more of anything, though, the bird flies off and reappears carrying a fancy decorated envelope. What's this? I open the letter and read through it. However, the first thing I notice is not the words, it's the handwriting. It's so beautiful. How can one write this well? Suddenly realize I'm focusing more on the handwriting than the actual contents of the letter and vigorously shake my head. I can admire the handwriting later. Let's see. It's a letter from Saturn. Letting the bird rest on my shoulder, I visit Saturn. Saturn's place is luxurious, open and inviting, and not that I expected any less. It suits her. Hello? Couldn't stop a stutter from seeping its way out of my voice, and I swallow, resolving to not do that again. That's right, why am I nervous? It's just Saturn. She's kind of good and talented. I look around as I walk, taking in the beautiful space and the many birds. As if desperate to reunite with its friends, the bird on my shoulder spreads its wings and flies away to its flock. I can't stop a little sound of surprise from escaping my lips. Isn't she beautiful? Her name is Dion. Ah! Whoa! With my heart beating out of my chest, I swerve around on my heels so quickly that I end up losing balance. I think Saturn has over 50 moons. Pretty sure. However, before I can fall to the ground hard, Saturn catches me, wrapping her arms around my shoulders to break my fall. She too seems surprised. Part of me didn't expect that. Saturn always struck me as kind of a lackadaisical, not easily surprised. Stare at Saturn. Dazed from the sudden turn of events, I continue staring at Saturn, forgetting that I'm still in her arms. Being held by her feels nice, though. Not very hot, but not very cold either. I wish I could stare at this for a while longer. When that thought hits me, I felt heat rush into my cheeks. I avert my eyes and then land on her ring-shaped necklaces, which glimmer in the light. Her necklaces are beautiful. Where did she get them, I wonder? Well, we don't know. We have no idea where Saturn's rings actually came from. But they will eventually disappear. I push the question out of my mind for now. I've got to focus on the moment. Are you alright, son? Your cheeks are red. Oh, I'm fine. Stop falling like that. Don't apologize. On the contrary, I find it rather pleasant surprise. Is that so? One ought to treasure every moment and keep it in one's heart. And that's what I was taught of once upon a time, so that's the philosophy I go by. That's true. I wonder who taught her this. I don't want to pry, though, so I keep quiet. You came as I requested you. That in and of itself makes me happy. Really. Ah, I know. What is it? I'll show you something nice. Here, come with me. Saturn grabs my wrist and half drags me over to the place where the birds are gathered together. The chirps they make are like music to my ears. Titan, Rhea! Whistling a little tune, she summons two birds, although they appear physically different. Each bird has its own charming point to them. Wow, they're beautiful, aren't they? You know I have a lot of moons. Is the whistling all you need to do to be able to summon them? Indeed, it's a simple call. She demonstrates again for me so I can try for myself. I like your whistling. The tune's really nice as well. So pretty. I see. Well, that's strange. Was it just my imagination, or did her eyes lose their luster just for a second? Did I trigger an unpleasant memory, perhaps? The mysterious look was gone as quickly as it had come, so I put it in the back of my mind. Saturn and I are not all too close. Probably be best to leave things be and not pry for now. But I could never get it out of my way. Oh my, yeah, I never could get out of my own way. Is everything okay? Me? Why are you asking that all of a sudden? Are you worried about me? Oh, is that a bad thing? Oh, no, I'm happy. It's just, I feel like I should be the one to ask you if you're alright after what happened with Terra. Oh, I'm feeling alright, thank you. There's never anything wrong with worrying, right? Some other subject has been switched back to me again. Saturn only smiles back before turning to Titan and Rhea. She sits down and starts whistling again. This time it is a different tune, and in response, Titan and Rhea fly up into the air. Their movements are nothing less than graceful, and the way they soar through the air easily puts a smile on my face. I could watch this spectacle forever. Are you enjoying yourself? Yes, who else is here? Well, there's Daphne. She's really important to me, too. Once again whistling a tune, another beautiful bird swoops down in a matter of seconds, perching on Saturn's shoulder. Oh, of course, I remember her, but it's been such a long time since I visited Saturn. Daphne, you remember Sun, right? She and I have gone through hardships together, so we have a great relationship. I can tell. Daphne really is beautiful. Wow, I wonder. How many moons do you have? You've already shown me. I count on my fingers the one I've seen so far. Dion was the bird that delivered Saturn's letter, then it was Titan and Ray who did performance together, now Daphnis. 4 birds. Oh, well, she must have more, right? Saturn takes a moment to think as she recalls her moons. 62 to be exact. Really? That's almost as many as Jupiter. Has she always had that many? He looks surprised. I guess more have gathered to me since you've last been here. For the most part, they just do what they want, but they keep me company, and I like to talk to them. Oh. They're as close to a friend as one can get. As if on cue, I feel a tight pull in my chest. I don't know why, though. Maybe it's a subconscious reaction. Saturn was always a more popular figure. I know that from observing her at parties, she always knows how to draw people in. But that was the first time I've heard Saturn refer to anybody as that close of a friend. A true friend, so to speak. As this thought hits me, the pull tightens even more. And I forcefully push it away, but at least now I know why I feel this way. I think I may have a squish on Saturn. The desire is so painful that it just can't be dismissed as a fantasy or an illusion. I want to be Saturn's friend. I want to get to know her. I want to get closer to her. And go deeper than the chit-chat or small talk we normally go to when we meet. I shake my head, brushing away this feeling once again. Boy, there you go again. Are you having an inner crisis, son? Saturn waves her hand in front of me, and I blink rapidly in slight surprise. I'm fine, my inner crisis already passed. Did I trigger a bad memory for you? Because I'm always here to open to talk to. With a small smile, I shake my head. I appreciate her offer, I really do, but I want that feeling to be mutual. And I can tell that with Saturn, she's not going to talk about her inner crisis to me. Thanks, but I'm fine. I'll keep your offer in mind, though. Alright, I won't push anything. I appreciate it. The two of us fall into a somewhat awkward silence, but Saturn breaks it with a sudden remark. Anyway, it's getting a bit late, so do you want to have dinner at my place before you head back? Only when Saturn says this does the realization hit me that it is indeed getting quite late, at least by her planet standards. Wow, you sure know how to make time fly. I like to entertain whoever comes by. I can't let any of my guests sleep bored or hungry. I definitely agree with that. Saturn's face lights up like a child's, and so I can't help but laugh in response. I want to hug her, but I hold this desire in out of respect for her boundaries. Oh, my stars. So, how did you like your typical Saturnian dinner? With a wink and a playful shoulder pat, Saturn presents me the finely decorated dinner table with foods ranging from fresh fruit to rice, to some varieties of wine as well. Are you okay? Son! When I don't respond, Saturn waves a hand in front of me. Saturn? Yes? Do you eat this stuff every day? Why are you so surprised? You have this quantity and quality of food wherever you throw parties, don't you? Touché. Still feeling a bit hesitant, I observe the different fruits. Some I've seen, but others look more exotic. Oh, also there'll be someone joining us, hopefully. Saturn winks as if trying to tell me a secret. Hopefully, you say? Yeah, well, he's got to be in the mood, you know. Just who is it? Someone you'll know. All of a sudden, I hear someone screaming, groaning. Can't tell from this distance. Oh, don't me. This voice. It couldn't be. No, what a pleasant surprise. He actually came. The door bursts open, revealing a very familiar spirit. Well, that's grumpy if I've ever seen it. Welcome, Mercury. I'm so happy you can make it. You look well. Saturn spreads her arms out if she wants Mercury to come and hug her. I look well to you? Marching over to Saturn, Mercury flicks her on the forehead. I'll be honest, it would look a bit weirder if Mercury actually hugged Saturn. He really doesn't strike me as that type of character. Go get your eyes checked. He points at his hair, which is badly ruffled. But I thought we were friends. I'm sorry to break it to you, but it's all one-sided. Oof. Seeing the two quarrel makes my heart feel somewhat light. What's so funny? I'm surprised. Surprised? Two would say at the same time, their expressions are copies of one another. Well, it didn't really occur to me the last time I saw you two together, but it seems to me like you two get along quite well. See? Sun gets it. No, she absolutely does not. Now. Anyway, what happened? To your hair, I mean. Well, a certain somebody's moons, feigns a cough half glaring at Saturn, decided that pecking was the same thing as leading. That's not what I asked him to do, though. That means you should give your birds more discipline. I'll keep that in mind. Keeping something in mind and actually doing it are two very different things, mind you. I noticed something then and there about Saturn. Her expression right now is just like the one she gave when she was talking about Daffy. Does Saturn by chance consider Mercury as a close friend too? Even though Mercury doesn't feel the same way. Anyway, you wanted me for dinner, right? Let's eat already. Yes, let's do that. Mercury seems to notice my curious expression. And he turns to face me. What now? I should probably speak my mind. I could say nothing, but that would probably just upset him more. You're very obedient to Saturn, and I don't think I ever imagined you as that type of person. Mer can only put up a strong front. Stop calling me Mer for the umpteenth time. I open my mouth to ask another question, but before I can, Mercury's expression changes to something softer. He sits down, hastily grabbing the cutlery. I'm hungry, let's eat. And with that, he starts shoving food in his mouth until his cheeks puff out. Wow, I think I just got whiplash. I barely managed to suppress a laugh this time. Dinner somehow goes off without a hitch for the most part, plus that part of me doesn't feel as intimidated as before towards Mercury. Maybe we can get along if we get to know each other more after all. Obviously, it'll be a slow process and journey, but baby steps are better than no steps at all, so I have no complaints. We can all take the time we can take all the time in the world. I can't talk today. When I arrive back home, I find an envelope with a blue and green seal, and it instantly dampens my good mood. The color struck me, and at first I'm hesitant on doing anything at all because I know who the writer is before I even open it. It's Terra. I mean, I can only imagine what he's going to try and say and justify what he did. He hurt me deeply, even if he was drunk. Drunkenness often leads to true feelings hiding beneath rushing to the sacrifice. Rushing to the surface like lava flowing out from inside of a volcano. I suck in a few deep breaths to hopefully ease my heart that is beating more uncontrollably by the minute. After standing for whoever knows, I slowly reach my trembling hand out towards the letter. When my hands touch the paper, I feel something boiling up inside. I don't know what. I don't think it's anger. Maybe it's anxiety, apprehension on what else he has to say to me this time. And maybe it's a mix of those emotions. I need to calm down before I do any damage to the environment. Okay, calm down. Just read the letter. Get over it. Maybe stash it away someplace. Just like Saturn said, it's better to end it now before things become more toxic. I open the envelope fold and take out the letter. A part of me was relieved that Terra wrote a letter. If he came here, the awkwardness would probably still be fresh for both of us. The wounds were fresh. The last thing I want to do is reopen them. The first line is crossed out, so I read on from there. Hey, so, I'm not really great at these sort of things, so I'll just get straight to the point. I'm really sorry. The spot showed me the video, and it's pretty awful. I just wanted you to know that isn't really what I think of you, okay? I don't know where that crap came from, but it's not true. I still love you. As the letter went on, he talked about some of the old times we had together. He surprisingly didn't make excuses for what he'd done, and promised to do better. As much as I can understand where he's coming from, though, I somehow know in my heart that my feelings on this matter won't change. Of course, I can't predict the future or anything, but that's just what my heart told me. Sighing, I fold the letter again, place it carefully back in the envelope, and stash it away in a safe place. I give myself a little pep talk. When the time's right, when all of this becomes nothing but a memory for me, I'll give him a sound reply. Dear Terra, fuck you. The next day, the last person I expected to see comes in. Mercury? Yeesh, do I have to shout my name so loud? I swear you're gonna make my ears bleed. I'm just surprised. Why? Well, I didn't think you'd come by, Spare your surprise, I didn't come all the way here of my own volition. Ouch. Truth hurts. Especially when you just blatantly say it with a straight face. What? Nothing. Anyway, did you want to eat anything, given that, you didn't come here on your own volition? Saturn wanted me to give you this. Mercury holds out his hand. On it is a tea bag, a very familiar tea bag at that. This is tea that's native to our planet. Oh, now I know where the other tea came from. Huh? Well, I found some tea that I didn't think I had recently. I thought somebody might have given it to me or something, so it was Saturn. You seem awfully happy about that. I'd love to get to know Saturn more. Mercury quirks up an eyebrow as if what I just said is alienating to him. Really? Why is that? Wow. I think this may be the first time Mercury has gotten a conversation going with me. It's definitely a step in the right direction. I'm not really sure, actually. Part of me doesn't really know what to feel towards her, but mostly I feel quite drawn to her. That's normal. Did you respond that way as well when you met Saturn? Did I hit a sensitive spot for Mercury? Is he somehow involved in her past? Mercury? In a way, Saturn doesn't have any problem talking with anybody. That's pretty much how we met. Oh. I was trying to get away from Venus, and Saturn just approaches me and starts talking to me. That sounds like something Saturn would do. Right? And she just kept talking. First I want to get away from her, but I can never find the right moment, but she's also an insanely good conversationalist. Once she opens her mouth, she'll just draw you right in. Makes you forget about things you'd rather not think about. That I can agree with. Something occurs to me just then and there. She seems to have this charm about her. When I talk to her, I forget about anything bad for the most part. Does that explain my desire to be her friend, a close friend, and not just an acquaintance that exchanges a hi to each other each time? Keeping this question in the back of my mind, I ask another question to keep the conversation going. This is one of the rare opportunities I get to see and talk with Mercury, so I better make the best of it while I can. So, do you like Saturn? I mentally hit myself. What kind of question is that? But it's a bit too late to be taking it back now. The shock was clear on Mercury's face. Sorry, that was inappropriate. No, it's fine. I really didn't mean for her to turn out awkward. She's alright. Who? Saturn. She's not too bad. Just I don't see her in a romantic sense, if that's what you mean. Do you see anyone in a romantic sense? I love you, son. We're closer than any of these other planets. You know that to be true. Mercury shrugs nonchalantly. Not really. I smiled wryly. I thought so. So, are you close enough to be considered friends? Or inviting me to dinner with something? I don't think she does that with just anyone. Objectively speaking, of course. I don't take pride in being a special person to Saturn necessarily. So she's like a sister. Mercury rolls his eyes, plus he's not saying anything, so I'm supposed to take this as a yes. I stay silent for a little while, hoping Mercury could say something more, but my hopes dash when nothing but awkward silence surrounds the two of us like a veil. So then, maybe, anyway, I have to go now, can't stay here forever. I understand. Be safe. Mercury walks over to the door, but just when his hand starts to make contact with the knob, he retracts and turns my way with a sharp look. If you tell Saturn about this, I'll kill you. Yeah, right. Well, you still do something you won't like. Sure. And don't worry, your secret's safe and sound with me. I send him a little wink, but Mercury doesn't catch it. He's already got his back facing me. And he's even out the door by the time I do. The tea ended up being too much for me. Saturn must have an abundance of tea or something. I just don't know if I can finish it on my own, though. Before I know it, I found myself at Saturn's place, but this time uninvited. Saturn, are you there? I'm about to knock on the door when I hear a tweet from above. When I look up, I spot a familiar bird. Daphnis, right? It would be just a little embarrassing if I messed up their names. Chirp. Aww. As if congratulating me, Daphnis spreads her wings out and chirps in a beautiful song-like quality. If it's not too much trouble, would you mind leading me to Saturn? I take it you know where she is at the moment. Daphnis cocks her head to the side before flapping her wings and flying over the door, pecking on it. I'm guessing she wants me to open it? Hesitantly, I push the door open. It's unlocked. Is she okay with just anyone coming in at this time? Maybe the birds also act as someone as guards as well. They could easily ruffle Mercury's feathers just by pecking at him. If they did the same to others, it would actually probably be okay to leave all the doors unlocked. Daphnis leads me inside, and we make a few turns here and there before reaching another door before she stops. Is this it? Daphnis chirps something, but I'm not able to understand. I assume she's saying yes. Thank you. Daphnis doesn't respond. Instead, she simply flies away. When she notices, when she's nothing but a speck in my vision, I turn towards the door and knock on it, listening for any response from the other side of the door. Hello? No way. Does something happen? I feel my heart go right up to my throat and my breathing hitches. What should I do? I just can't stand here and do nothing if Saturn really is in some kind of trouble. Open the door. Saturn! Without much thought, I push open the door. It almost feels like some sort of uncontrollable impulse. I know it's probably not the best thing to do, but they say drastic situations call for drastic measures. I look around the room until I spot a familiar figure, Saturn, in front of me. Saturn is sitting at her desk, her face planted on the table. Saturn! Rushing to her side like there's going to be no tomorrow, I shake her. Saturn, are you okay? Daphnis? I hear Saturn grunt as she slowly opens her eyes, squinting up at me. I don't know if she knows it's me, though, because of the light. Oh, so she's just sleeping after all. She's probably dreaming about Daphnis. I let out a sigh of relief because it could have been a lot worse. Rise and shine, Saturn. Sorry for waking you. What time is it? Time for a tea party, I reckon. I smile and hold out the tea bags, and Saturn's eyes light up in recognition. Are they not to your tastes? Oh no, it's not like that at all. Quite the opposite, actually, but I don't think I can just finish it all on my own. If you haven't noticed already, I like to talk to people over foods and drinks. Being social is a good thing. I'd love to have tea with you. And since it seems like I fell asleep, this will be good to get my energy flowing again. Great, then let's go. We go outside, and when the weather's mild, it's not too hot, but it's not too cold either, though there's definitely an occasional wind brew. What's this tea made of? Sorry, I can't tell you. It's something like a secret, you see. What else would you call it? Well, if I find a significant other, someone I can really trust, I'll tell them. But otherwise, my lips are sealed. I can't help but pout, forming on my lips. Not even a hint? Nope. The first letter? At this, Saturn rolls her eyes, flicking me in the forehead. Oh. Did I flick you too hard? Saturn's expression quickly morphs into one of worry, setting down her tea and placing her hand on my forehead. Saturn's face is close to mine. I notice how long her eyelashes are, how her ring necklace hangs from her neck, glistening off the light that hits it. My heart flies to my throat. Saturn? The two of us stay like this for a while. It almost feels like we're frozen in time. I feel my face heat up from the proximity. You're getting red. Are you okay? Could it be you have a fever? No, that's not it. She's acting more dense than Terra. Does she not notice how close we are? I don't have a fever. That's not why my face is red. I'm just... What? Just, a trail off, starting into her beautiful eyes. They're to die for. When these thoughts hit me, I shake my head emphatically. What am I thinking? Anyway, I'm fine, but thanks for your worry. I hastily pull away, attempting to hide my flushed face, even though it's futile, because Saturn's already seen it. Whatever you say. Much to my relief, Saturn sits down and we drink our tea again. I take a little sip every few seconds to calm myself down. This fruity flavor relaxes me as well. But really, will I ever know? Know what? What the tea's made of. Why are you so caught up on what the tea's made of? Because that would mean we've grown close enough that you could share your secrets with me. That's the real reason, but I can't say that out loud. It tastes really good, so I was wondering if it's possible to, be able to make it back home. I see, so that's how it is. Yeah. Your smile seems to have a little bit of flirtatious air about it, or maybe that's just wishful thinking on my part. Well, if that's the case, why don't you just come over and have tea with me? I'll be happy to brew some for you. That's not the same, and you know it. If it's with you, I would love the company. If it's with me? What does she mean by that? Is it alright for me to get my hopes up, even if it's just a little bit? What should I make of that? The imagination knows no bounds. Indeed, it doesn't. We fall into silence. A comfortable one at that. I could stay like this forever and have no qualms about it. Oh, by the way, Saturn, can I talk to you about something? I just need to get off my chest. Get what off your chest? When I don't respond, Saturn's eyebrow quirks up in curiosity. Alright, take your time. You've got all the time in the universe. Seriously. I take in a deep breath before speaking, a part of me feeling more confident after Saturn's comforting words. You see... Go on. Terra sent me a letter. A letter? I can talk to Saturn about anything. I trust her. She really is a good listener. Yes. And what did it say? He apologized to me. I think he wants to go back to the old days before, that incident, but I really can't. Not even with time? I hesitate. It's partially true when they say time heals all wounds. This is a wound that refuses to close, though. So I shake my head, looking down into the tea. The orange liquid reflects my distraught face right now. I don't know how I should reply. Or more like, I don't even know if I want to reply. I don't want to hurt Terra's feelings anymore. But it's just on my side that things start to jumble out like an avalanche. When I realize I'm starting to ramble, I stop mid-sentence. Saturn's eyes glitter with something like surprise. Or stars. I didn't really think I meant to ramble to her like this, especially about something that doesn't really have anything to do with Saturn. I'm really sorry. No, all is good. So you just want to reply to his letter, right? I would just be honest. I don't know Terra all too well, but I'm sure everyone prefers the truth over a lie. That's a good point. Right, but what if the truth hurts his feelings even more? I'm afraid the wounds are still too fresh for the both of us. Well, if you tell a lie, it'll hurt even more later. Trust me on that one. You sure do give good advice. It's not the first time somebody said that to me. We burst out laughing and the mood becomes more light again. It's always light, we're the sun. Anyway, I feel a lot better now that the weight's off my back, so I think I'll be heading out now. Thanks for serving me tea, though. It was really good. I stand up. Is it okay to hug you goodbye? Sure. The two of us hug, blanketed each other's warmth for a brief moment before pulling away again. Bye for now. Please invite me over for a tea party next sometime. I'm sure that sometime will be soon. I wait before turning to leave. But I stop again when I hear Saturn's voice. Oh, and one more thing. Yes? I turn around to see Saturn with a tender smile. About the tea. It's made from the leaves of a fruit that grows here. It's called koya. Oh. A secret for a secret. With a wing, Saturn waves to me. I recover from my little surprise attack, and I can't stop happiness from blossoming all over inside me. I feel really, truly happy right now. Because somebody else's secret is something priceless. Okay, well, I think that's going to be it for the quick look, because it's already getting a little long in the tooth. But if you enjoy it, you can download the demo for this game called My Only Sunshine right now. Links in the below. And check out the developer's Twitter to, keep up on developments on the game. So with that said, that's it for the quick look, and I will see you all next time, and have a good day.